What is happening, YouTube? So, game three, we played at home, but there were so many terrible news that happened. The main one was Kawhi Leonard. He's out with a knee sprain. I pray to goodness that this is only this game. Game four, I hope Kawhi can play. This is the playoff game. This is the playoffs, man. This is like brutal. And the Clippers actually kept it pretty competitive. We were scoring the ball pretty well, but our defense, which is not really any specific player's fault, it was more about rotations. We were getting cooked on defense, and the rotations, this is probably the worst rotations I've ever seen in the NBA. Like this is Darvin's Ham level of terrible. Like this lineup and Darvin Ham's lineup during the Christmas game versus the Lakers. I mean the Mavericks. These are the worst lineups I've ever seen. Just laugh at this. What type of head coach actually thinks this is a good lineup? What type of NBA head coach that thinks this is the right lineup to run? Like, there's no centers. There's no power forwards. There's no wings. It's all guards. Well, Terrence Mann, I guess he's the wing, but he's really playing center down here. And this is not even like the worst rotations I've ever. This is not even like the worst part. Ty Lue still left this type of lineup, even when DeAndre 18 was in there. Like, this is disgusting, man. And this year, oh man, I this is Ty Lue's last year coaching the Clippers. Honestly, there's no way a head coach thinks this is a legit good lineup. Like there are so many things that I literally could criticize Ty Lue on. Like there's a massive list, I would say. Um, I know Ty Lue, like this season he's been pretty awful as a head coach, but I never knew he would stoop down to this level. Um, this is wow. This is unbelievable, purely unbelievable. And of course, there were other things that the Phoenix Suns they went to the free throw line a lot, which is pretty horrendous. The refs was terrible. Um, I think like the third quarter, and the Phoenix Suns got like 30 free throws alone, and like no one was even like we were just playing casual defense, and the refs called out a foul. That's just purely unbelievable. It's just and yeah, the rest was terrible, but at the same time, Tyler was terrible too. Like there was so many like last game and this game, it was pretty winnable. All Tyler got to do is put an adequate rotation. You could get like, and that would be getting a guy like Robert Covington actually on the floor. Had Covington played at least 20 minutes last game, he would have won. Had Robert Covington played 20 minutes this game, we would have been 3-0 in this series. But, our head coach, he really is tripping. But anyways, let's go player by player as usual. Um, Nico Batum, he had 0 points. At least he got more rebounds. He got one assist. Batum, he honestly the past two games, he hasn't been looking himself. Um, Robert Covington should start at the moment for sure. Batum, it's better he kind of like takes the Iguodala role more. Ivica Zubac, decently efficient 3 for 4. He hasn't been really catching the ball pretty well as usual. That's why you see Russell Westbrook turnover has been a little bit high because like Zubac has been his awareness wasn't the best in the first half, but um, you know Of course, he got some decent amount of rebounds, not double digits, but it's all right. And but he went for a decent 3 for 4, but definitely he could get his awareness up for sure. Um, Russell Westbrook, he played amazing. If there's one person that you should not blame, is Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook deserves to get an apology from Tyronn Lue for literally putting the most ridiculous rotations ever. And I know, I know I'll give Ty Lue props for actually, kind of like supporting Westbrook and let Russell Westbrook, play through his mistakes and all that. I'll give Ty, Ty Lue that, but it's just the rotations is just unbelievably disgusting. Like it is beyond atrocious, but glad to see Russell Westbrook doing so much better compared to when he was a Laker, and he really is reminding everybody that he is still he has a lot of tank in him, and in this series he's been playing like a star. Really, 30 points this game, and I think like I want to say almost 30 points last game too. And first game, yeah, he shot terrible, but he played his tail off on defense, and he got his rebounds, and he got dimes, and he did whatever you want him to do. He was playing like um, he was like a shorter version of 2018 LeBron. Really, he did whatever he could, but the Clippers as a team just couldn't pull through. I mean, not exactly everyone's fault, but I don't. It's just obviously you already know like who I'm gonna say is the problem. Eric Gordon. I feel Eric Gordon was like the biggest weak link of this game, and he was kind of like more of the factor on why we kind of lost this game. Really, um, I felt he should have been slided to the bench, and Covington should have got his minutes. We already had a lot of guards who could shoot the ball, man. Why play Gordon with Norman Powell together? Covington should get his minutes. Simple as that. Um, I'm sorry, Gordon. He has some good bursts, but other than having a good burst and nostalgia, um, Gordon doesn't really um, provides us what we exactly would need. We already have abundant of scorers, so um, the acquisition of Gordon was, till this day, it's still pretty suspect. But he had some good games. I'll give him that. But again, we already had a lot of scorers, and as you can see, Terrence Mann minutes got trimmed down, and then now we're more prone to play really extra mega small ball lineup. So that's just my 2 cents. Oh, Norman Powell, my goodness, he did amazing. 42 points. That's like that's definitely superstar caliber number. 42 points. Um, I gotta say he deserves Six Man of the Year for sure. It went to Malcolm Brogdon. I don't know what did Malcolm Brogdon. When has Malcolm Brogdon dropped 42 points? Never, ever. Norman Powell just went, oh my goodness, 42 points. It was a takeover game. 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Beautiful. Just a beauty. Marcus Moore Sr., welcome back. Um, I know I've been pretty hard on you, and of course, I have no choice but to be hard on him because Covington should have his minutes as well too. Like Marcus Morris's defense was getting targeted. Um, he did make a nice three, and he made 1 3, but still, no excuse for Rocco to get a complete DNP. He at least got 4 rebounds. I'll give Marcus Morris that. But then Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee. He did all right. He 2 for 2. No turnovers, 5 rebounds. Um, 1 assist, 1 steal. Um, I would say he is a neutral factor. Fairly, yeah, I would say a solid backup big, I guess. Um, Bones Highland. Bones Highland was also killing it as well. 20 points, 6 for 12, 2 for 4. Very efficient. His assists was pretty low, but he does kind of help us play a little bit faster. But he did ISO a lot too, but it translated pretty well. Bones Highland's definitely the future for sure. To me, Bones, Boston, Diabate, they're the future of the Clippers. They all three got to have more playing time, to be honest. Um, but Highland, he's one of them. And it is showing. Terrence Mann, Terrence Mann always has pretty solid games. Very efficient, 4 for 6, 2 for 4 from three, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. I feel terrible for Terrence Mann. This guy was made to guard DeAndre Ayton because Ty Lue really thinks a 5 guard lineup is actually a good thing. This is unbelievable. This is totally unbelievable. And my wish for the next Clipper coach is obviously a coach who's willing to have some common sense, man, who's not willing to run a ridiculous 5 guard lineup. Um, Obviously, get Covington some minutes, and mainly just get the young players playing, bro, and don't overly just favor the veterans like how Tyronn Lue and Doc Rivers did. Like Tyronn Lue, really, before, usually he would run 4 guards lineup, and he would put a small forward as a center before actually giving a very switchable 1 to 5 big in Diabate and actual floor time. This is pretty much pathetic. This is like a pure headache. But if there's a major optimism is we only lost by 5 points despite a very ridiculous rotation. So I guess I can say that, but man, like whenever a game is so winnable and there are so many like major flaws, it's actually pretty frustrating. It actually gets pretty frustrating. And and then let's get to the Phoenix Suns. My goodness, look how many times they went to the free throw line. 46, 46 times. The rest were calling the most softest calls ever. Durant 11 times through the free throw. Oh my goodness. Um, Katie. Of course, he did his thing. 8 for 15. He had a lot of turnovers though. Because Russ was locking him up. 5 assists. Kevin Durant played like Kevin Durant. Well, went to the line a lot and turned the ball a good amount of times. Torrey Craig. The major consequences of going ridiculously small is Torrey Craig getting wide open so many times. And of course, it also didn't help when, Zubac was getting scored on too. At times, Zubac should be more inside like the paint, protecting the rim. Zubac was made to guard the perimeter, but it's really ridiculous small ball lineups causing Torrey Craig to hit 3 threes, 15 points, and of course he got 6 free throws. DeAndre Ayton, he got a double double. Of course he gets a double double because Ty Lue ran a 6'5" player as the center. But can you imagine if it was any other like stronger bigs? That would have been an easy 20 and 20. Chris Paul, he did pretty bad. 5 for 18, 1 for 8, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. But He was shooting a good amount of bricks. Thank goodness. Devin Booker. Devin Booker got 45 points. Um, again, not too surprised when Ty Lue does not play Robert Covington. Had Ty Lue played some Covington minutes, definitely would have been only in the 30s or even in the high 20s. We would have won by 10, to be honest with you. Um, the Phoenix Suns bench, they didn't really do much. Well, Biombo, he was solid, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Um, and then Damian Lee, he got superstar calls. Bones Highland played defense on Damian Lee and didn't even touch him one bit. And he went to the free throw line. Pretty ridiculous. But overall, this was an incredibly frustrating game to watch. Um, Let me know what you think about this game. I'm sure we share a common idea for sure. This is like so many aspects, just simply frustrated Clipper Nation for the past 2 games. Um, Considering that we did not have Kawhi and Ty Lue ran a ridiculous lineup, and the Phoenix Suns went to the free throws almost 50 times, um, there's still a chance that we could beat the Phoenix Suns in this series. But when we face the Denver Nuggets, I don't know how we're gonna do anything good as them. There's a potential chance that the Clippers could get a gentleman's sweep if Ty Lue actually thinks his rotations are actually like logistically a good lineup. But anyways, be sure to leave a comment down below. Um, Much love to everybody who watches the video, and try your best to have a good night and peace.